Okay, so we're looking at questions versus statements today, friends. Okay, so on this worksheet, we've got one side that says statements, and we've got one side that says questions. And I noticed that we definitely need more practice on knowing what a question is and what a statement is. So a question, we'll look right up here. A question is a sentence that asks something. It begins with a capital letter and ends with a question mark. For example, why is Mars known as the red planet? Notice how it says why. Remember we talked about our question words. Who, what, when, where, why, how. Could also do like did. Sometimes are is a question word. Are you going to the park today? Okay, so let's look at, we're going to do some practice. If the sentence is a question, add a question mark and color the circle red. If it is not a question, put an X in the circle. Okay, so you'll need something red, like a crayon or a marker. And you'll need a pencil. So I'm getting my red pen out here. Maybe not. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So it says, how many miles is Mars from the sun? Well, it says how many miles, so that's definitely asking a question. So I'm going to color it red. And then with my pencil, I'm going to add a question mark. Okay, let's look at number 2. Can you see Mars without a telescope? Oh, that sounds like a question. Can you see? It's not saying I can see, it's saying can you see? So that's a question. So I'm going to color that one red. All right, let's keep going. I'm not going to give the answers to the rest, but I'll read them. Number 3, Mars is the 4th planet from the sun. Is it telling you something or asking? If it's a statement, just put an X. Did you know there are only 2 planets which are smaller than Mars? Number 5, would plants and animals be able to live on Mars? Number 6, what is the surface temperature on Mars? Number 7, does Mars have polar caps like the Earth? Number 8, are there mountains and volcanoes on the planet? Number 9, is much of its surface desert-like? Number 10, when do you think a manned spacecraft will go to Mars? Rewrite each statement as a question by changing the word order. Clouds can be seen on Mars. So this, we would just change it to make it a question. So you take your pencil and you would say, well, can clouds be seen on Mars? Be seen on Mars, and a question mark. So I just changed around the first 2 words. Sometimes it's that way, and sometimes you have to do a little bit more. So maybe, so this one says, Mars does have 2 moons. I could say, does Mars have 2 moons? Does Mars have 2 moons? Question mark. Why did I capitalize Mars even though it wasn't at the beginning? Because it's a proper noun. It's naming a specific planet. Okay, let's look at number 3. The moons are named Phobos and Deimos. So you're using just these words and create it into a question. The moons are named Phobos and Deimos. And then number 4, space probes have landed on Mars. Make it into a question. Pause the video until you're ready to go on to the next page. Okay, this side we're working on statements. A statement is a sentence that tells something. It begins with a capital letter and ends with a period. So a statement is telling you something. For example, Mercury is the planet closest to the sun. If the sentence is a statement, put an S on the line and add a period. If the sentence is not, put an X on the line. Okay, so S if it's a sentence, X if it's not. Number 1, Mercury revolves around the sun once every 88 Earth days. Sounds like a statement to me. It's telling me about it. So I'll add my period. And I'll write S for sentence. Number 2, Mercury travels around the sun at 30 miles per second. That's telling me something. So I'll put a period and I'll put an S. Number 3, its days are as long as about 180 Earth days. Remember, S if it's a sentence and a period. If it's not, put an X. That is because Mercury rotates so slowly as it revolves around the sun. Can you see Mercury without a telescope? Is that a statement? Number 6, because of its nearness to the bright sun, it is hard to see. Number 7, Mercury is 2/5 the size of the Earth. Number 8, Mercury's surface seems to be much like our moon's. Number 9, the planet has flat plains, steep cliffs, and many craters. Number 10, would Mercury be too hot for life as we know it? All right, it says write 2 statements telling why you would or would not want to visit Mercury. Write 2 sentences. You need to make sure you have capital letters, you have a subject, so who or what the sentence is about, and you need to have an action. Okay? So I would say, I would like to visit Mercury because or because something. Or I would not like to visit Mercury because something. You decide.